New England Candlepins is made possible through the generous support of the U.S. Candlepin Bowling Association. Learn more at uscandlepin.com. By Ficco's Family Bowl-A-Drone in Franklin, Massachusetts. Visit ficosbowl.com. By your community's public access channel. And by your Franklin friends and neighbors. Good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.
From Ficco's Bowl-A-Drome in Franklin, Massachusetts, it's New England Candlepins Spring Tournament 2015. In our first Sweet 16 show, Ed Dunn takes the lane against Candlepin culture icon Richie Myrick. Then, in Game 2, Tough Enough, Bill Clough rolls against Sean the Bulldozer Taylor. Now let's roll with your host, Jay Horrigan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to New England Candlepins, and we're going to have our first of our Sweet 16 shows for you today. We've got two matches we're going to bring you. Our first match is going to pit Richie Myrick against Eddie Dunn. First of all, we're going to talk to Ed Dunn. Ed, welcome back. We haven't seen you on the show in a couple of our seasons here, but you're bowling well. You qualified.
Absolutely. It's great to be back. Thanks for having us, Jay. It's good to be back at Ficco's once again. And it's been a while, been off for a while, taking care of some other things, but 2 out of 3 times qualifying. Hopefully third time's the charm.
Absolutely. Last week in the qualifier, you bowled well. I have you down here. You qualified 14th.
There was a tough bracket ahead of us. The top, I think, was 392, and bottom coming in was 336, and a bunch of us grabbed the last 4 or 5 spots. So with that many pins between top to bottom, it's going to be a great field.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're going to be taking on the number 3 seed, Candlepin cultural icon, Richie Myrick. Richie, bowling well. Number 3 coming in as the number 3 seed. How you feeling about your game?
I feel really good right now. The beginning of the season was kind of a shipwreck, total disaster. But aside of the Worlds anyway, that was nice.
Yes.
But aside of that, lately been bowling really well, so I'm looking forward to taking it on today.
You did well at the Worlds.
Yeah, Academy Lanes, we made the semifinals this year, so
right.
And I'm looking forward to going back with them this November.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thanks.
That's fantastic. So we're going to be back with our first match in our Sweet 16, but what are we going to do first, Matt? We're going to roll those brackets. Welcome to New England Candlepins. I'm Jay Horrigan, and with me today is Dan Gauthier on Pi Day. Happy Pi Day, Dan.
Happy Pi Day too, Jay.
Well, we're going to get our first match going before we enjoy our pie. Up first is Ed Dunn, bowling out of Ficco's Bowl-A-Drome.
Ed qualified with a 352, if I'm not mistaken, for the 15th seed.
And you are correct.
I remember because I was trying to chase him. It's slipping just by the head pin, striking a 2. So a lot of righties do that in their first couple boxes till they get stretched out.
It's going to be tough on a television show like this, being the first bowler up the first match of the day.
The funny thing is, I personally like it. I prefer to
Do
be
you?
the first guy. Yeah. You know,
Nice pickup.
It's easy to say you like it if you can go up there and throw a mark early.
Right.
To throw a mark early, I'd rather be the one putting up the marks than the one trying to react to them. It's just a personal preference. But it was a nice out by Ed. You don't want to leave 9s. And in a one-stream match, you really don't want to leave anything less than a 10 if you can afford to. So often, I think you're going to have the same number of marks as your competitors, so the game's actually going to be won or lost with the 10 boxes.
Right. Hit with a 5 there.
tough lead, but at least he's got that wood covering the 3 pins on the right, so if he does kick something over, that might help it.
Looked like he tried to maybe play that wood
Yeah,
on
I
the
think it
left-hand
was
side.
More likely, probably just another case like the first box where he just pulled in a little more than he wanted to. Takes a safe 8. Again, the decision you have to make mentally, right? If you're going to go for more than 8, you got to try for the 2 on the left, but you don't want to leave a 7 either.
Right. So 18 after 2 boxes for Ed Dunn. Ed's been on our show. This is his second appearance on our show.
If you don't count announcing.
Besides announcing, correct.
Speaking of announcing, it's a battle of the announcers up there. That's the only reason I'm here, right? I'm like the Malcolm Subban of the announcers. A couple go down, forced to call me up.
Dan, you're always welcome here.
Richie's going to want to be right here in the 1-2 pocket. He should run down the 7 nicely. Like Ed, outside. Both bowlers fighting the same demons in the first box.
And Richie with the 9 box.
Both bowlers looking for that first mark. See who's going to take the early lead. And in a 1-string match, any marks pressure on the other bowler. It's a nice ball. I'm not sure he's in love with the way that wood settled in there against that pin.
No.
That's a nice shot by Richie. Really nice shot. Went on the left of the 3-pin, throw it into the 10, but it's tricky with that wood there. You have to be nice and heavy on it, and he was.
That was a real nice shot.
Horseman plus the 9-pin. Very, very tough lead. It's a nice try by Ed.
Just a little off on the head pin, but picks up 3 of them. And just to the right there. So Ed at 26 through 3 frames.
He's going to want to get on the horse now, get off the snide, get his first mark. Don't want it to drag on too long. Can't afford that in a single string match. There we go.
Nice.
There's the ball he wanted, that's for sure. Not the result he wanted it anyway. That's the ball he wanted. At least the wood is somewhat helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough shot to cut over. But the wood is in a pretty good position that if you hit the left side of the pin, it's going to help it cut over. He's still going to take a nice shot, though. High degree of difficulty.
Oof.
Yeah, he did hit it on the left side.
Yeah.
Be a little bit lighter. The wood was going to help somewhat, but tough lead for that buried first ball.
Yeah. And now Richie Myrick up on lane 15. That's one of the challenges you see with Candlepin. Guys having a real nice ball, but just the pin's not falling.
Yeah, you can potentially be dropping 7s and 8s all day and not getting the leads. There's an example right there. A nice 7 drop, you know. 7 or better is a good fill, and then you're looking at a 2-1 split.
Right.
If you're bowling well, though, in the course of a game, you're going to make one of these almost every string if you're throwing a really good ball. And almost on cue. He overcut the shot. I mean, heck of an effort by Richie when you overcut that, and it's the 6-pin on the right, not even the 10-pin. I'd be happy with the effort, though. It gives him a 9-pin lead. Anytime you can stretch a lead to double digits, which is what he'll be trying to do here with a 10 or better, Makes it real tough on the opponent because that's more than one mark. Another solid head pin hit for Richie. He's 3 out of 4 once he got past that first box and got loosened up.
Yeah.
He's still stuck with another split, though. Tries this one on the outside.
Ooh.
Has some nice cross lane action with the wood, but the extra wood he had in front of those pins cost him maybe the spare.
Almost knocked it out of the way there.
Yeah, that one heading over there might have done some damage if it wasn't for the roadblock. The thing about this game, you never know what wood's going to be helping when it's going to be a roadblock until after you play it.
So through 4, Richie has a 10-pin lead over Eddie Dunn.
And that's a big number. 10 and 11 are good leads. 9, no, the guy can still do it with 1 mark. That's a good, solid head pin hit.
Yeah, you could hear, I don't know if you could hear it, the viewers at home, but Ed was real comfortable with that ball.
Left with a reasonable leave. Triangle. And he moves it down. I don't want to say it was a must-make shot, but it was pretty close to it. I'm going to come out of the first half with 1 mark anyway.
Yeah.
Now he's going to have to move lanes. Yeah, you like that lane. He wanted to stay on it. It's on a roll over there. Yeah, this lane's 60 feet too, though, I hear.
Supposedly. It looked that way earlier.
That's off to the right. He had that spinning wood crossing the whole back. He was really hoping it would take out a few more pins. Sometimes you do see that. It does a lot of damage. Let's settle for a 4 fill. Ed's joined by his, I think that's his son, right?
Yes.
Ficco, rooting for him.
Yeah.
You could hear him yelling, hoping for some more action on that first one. Oh. His son said he got it, but not quite. Oh, almost pulls out a 10. Nice one. Okay, Ed, you got to sit back and hope that Richie doesn't mark. Now, then you'd be just 1 normal mark away from him. Keep the match close. And then if you're Rich, you want to put 2 up there.
Right.
You can sit back and enjoy a beverage. Yuck.
That's not going to help.
That's an official color commentator description of that leave. Yuck.
That's in the manual, actually.
Yuck.
Oh, wow.
Nice ball by Richie. And the 3-pin was off its spot. He put it right in the 1-3 pocket. You're going to pin off the spot. You never know how it's going to react, but that thing just went down like a rocket. Solid head pin hit, and he gets the 5-pin to fall. I was going to say make it a much more makeable leave, but the wood is going to present some challenges in this one. Oh, big challenge on this wood. Richie goes high, and he makes the shot. That's where he had to be. Did what we were saying he wanted to do. I was going to say, Dan, sit down, enjoy a beverage.
Have a beverage, yep.
Four to go. Ed's going to be looking to put 3 of them for marks probably to get himself in decent position. Yes. Beautiful ball. Best ball he's thrown so far. His son loves it. As a bowler, I'm not sure I would like the results. 7-10
That is
split.
a tough leave on a great ball.
That's what he said. Only my son would cheer for a 7-10 split. It was a good ball, though. I'm sure he was cheering for the ball and not the result.
Right.
He does have diagonal wood across the 10 pin. He's going to want to put his ball right in that red line and hope it goes up in the air and lands on the 7. He didn't quite hit it high enough. So I learned something new about the 7-10 split last week.
Yes.
In the companion sport, the 10-pin bowling, it's not the hardest sleeve. Obviously, it is in Candlepin, right?
Right.
You could make an argument maybe something like the 7, 8, 9, 10 could be equally difficult. Or you could come up with some crazy ones. But apparently there are 2 or 3 shots that are officially more difficult and go at a lower rate than the 7-10, which for me is hard to believe, right? 2 farthest apart.
Absolutely.
Oof. Half Worcester right. Most bowlers, when they try to make this, will try to hit the head pin on the whole side. It's risky, but he hits it on the other side, and it's just hard to carry all the pins when you hit it. The 5 pin usually is the one that ends up staying up on you if you don't go on the whole side. But it can be made there. Just need some breaks. Richie looking to put 3 in a row to win some bonus money.
That's right.
You're paying for that, right?
Tried to get. I thought you were.
Oh, okay. I knew you guys wanted me here for a reason. I left my wallet in the car, though.
Well, we can get it later.
Richie right in the pocket. Cluster of 4 pins on the right, but a nice piece of wood tucked in there should help it, I think. Solid, respectable 9.
So that through 7 frames, that'll give Richie Myrick a score of 88 to Ed Dunn's 68.
20 pins. Spread eagle with a clipped right wing. See what Richie did there, going for the side with the 2 pins. A lot of bowlers will do that, thinking that they've got more back pins on the other side, so if they do throw a pin over, there's more that the pin can hit. The downside to it is if you miss your 3rd ball, you end up with a 7 box. Yeah. I know that the chances of Ed coming back and winning this are obviously slim when you're down 20 with 2 boxes to go, but he almost needed Richie to miss all those pins and leave a 7, because now, again, you are down 20, so you put up like spare, strike, spare, or a strike, spare, strike.
Yeah.
And it does force Richie to get at least 2 10s, which is what you want to do. So, going to be almost perfect, these 2 boxes, though. Start with a mark. Oh, what a hammer.
Oh, wow.
That's the way you want to do it. Strike, spare, strike. A little easier than spare, strike, spare sometimes.
That's right.
Get that first strike out. Son loves it. Really cheering. How cool would it be if you put a strike here? Then all of a sudden the tables are turned.
Absolutely.
And you might make Richie have to throw 1 mark, and sometimes even if you need a mark 2, it's hard to do when you know you need it. Another good ball. Oh, a tiny bit full. He wants one of them to fall. Oof. So he has to make this. He does have wood behind the 2 pin.
Helping or hurting?
You know, it's hard to say, because if he splits the 2 pins on the left, I still think it would carry. I think that's what he's going to want to try to do. It's a little fuller, and the wood that was going to be helpful just, took out one of the pins on the right, but not the 10.
That was a
Maybe
nice
he had
shot,
to be a little
though.
lighter and split it, but yeah, it was a nice try. He was right on.
Nice effort.
Hey, the 3rd ball was good too.
Yeah.
Thought he'd get the 10 there, but he said forced Richie to get up anyway. Richie needs 9 pins for the victory in 2 boxes.
Yeah.
And he does it.
There we go.
Richie will be moving on. Solid spare for Rich. 105 and a ball with one full box to go. Heading for a solid game in the 120s, most likely. Ooh, some late action. I think he's going to play the wood.
I'm going to say that wood would help. That's just me.
It almost didn't. He gives you a look. He said, oh, you see how long that took to fall after he hit it? If that would have stayed up, you'd have been in trouble.
I know.
Shot you the evil eye on that one.
I would have gotten a ball in the head there.
Looking to finish it big. Big Phil getting the 130s. Not quite, but he'll settle for a 129.
129.
Solid 129 game for Richie. 26-pin victory over Ed.
So Richie Myrick wins our first game of the day over Ed Dunn. And we'll be back to talk to our bowlers in just a second. Welcome back. That was a great first match. First Ed. I've got a couple of notes here. Great. Yeah, I do have pretty impressive, huh? Okay. That strike, great strike in the ninth. Got the cheering section really going.
Yeah, that was worth a note. The rest of it really wasn't there today, but unfortunately, I knew going in that Richie's the 3 seed and qualifying was a tight group. Had I done better, I would have placed higher and had a better shot at it, maybe with a different opponent, but I knew coming in that Richie's going to bring it. It's host versus host. He's got a chip, I got a chip, and did our best, but trying to make a run and force him to get on the lane in the ninth box. At least I did that, but...
Well, I have down seventh frame. You had a tough frame there that kind of hurt you.
Well, when you don't make your spares, they all hurt you. I mean, I had a couple of gimmies in the beginning that I left up there, and then the crowd got excited when I got a 7-10 split, which apparently was my best spare leave of the night so far. So that tells you I was having a tough hit. But Rich is a great opponent, and hopefully FTV wins the whole thing. Keep it in the family.
Absolutely. Then you almost picked up the spare in the 10th. Just a little off, but that would have forced Richie to come up with, I think, a mark there towards the end, but just off a little bit.
Yeah, that last ball, I was trying to cut everything over. I went to the wrong side of it. Had I got the inside of the pin, spun the wood over, made the spare, then it just comes down to that fill ball. And if I do like I normally do and get 2, he just would have had to get up and hit a pin. And if I got a strike, it would have forced him to get a mark. But great bowling all around.
Yep, good effort, good effort. Richie, 129, lot of notes. Although you got a little annoyed, I think it was Dan who said that wood was going to help you with that one pin. It wasn't me, I know that.
Well, it did help me, and thankfully it was after the match was already sewn up, but I had heard him mention that the wood was good because there was like 12 pieces of wood out there, and as soon as I let it go, I'm like, oh no, because it was the only place that maybe it didn't go, and it thought about not going, Shu, you know it did. Yeah. So, but Ed scared me big time in the 9th and 10th boxes when he threw the hammer in the 9th, and then that spare leave in the 10th. If he makes that and throws a strike on that, if, like you said, it forces me to mark. So all of a sudden the tables are turned. If he throws a double, now I'm forced to 2 marks. You know,
right?
Anything can happen in one string match. So I'm lucky to get through, and we'll see what happens from here.
Well, you both rolled the ball very well. You got some more marks. You didn't have the ball. The pins didn't always fall your way.
Didn't have the pins.
Yeah, absolutely. So, great match. We're going to come back with our second match of the day, which is going to be Sean Taylor versus Phil Clough, and we'll be back with that match in just a moment. Welcome back to New England Candlepins. We're with Phil Clough and Sean Taylor. Phil, back again on our show. So you're bowling at least well enough to be on our show. How do you feel your game is right now?
It's not too bad. I'm very glad to be back with you.
And we're glad to have you back. Have you bowled against Sean before?
No, I just met Sean today, a few minutes ago.
And do you think it's going to be a lifelong friendship?
It could be.
Okay. There's been no trash talking, anything? No problems?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to stir that up right now. Sean, welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, great to be back.
And how are you bowling?
Quite well. Been picking my game up the last month, so I'm confident in myself.
Excellent. And how did it go when you met Phil?
It was good. Very civil, so we'll keep that going.
Are you sure? Because
Yes.
I thought I heard a couple of things.
No, it's civil right now.
Okay. Well, I'll bring up the things I heard later. So we don't want to get into it right now. So we're going to be back with this ugly grudge match in just a moment between Sean Taylor and Phil Clough. You don't want to miss it. Roll those brackets. And we are back with our second match of the day, Sean Taylor versus Phil Clough. Gentlemen, good luck, and Phil's going to be up first on lane 16.
Phil is going to be extra dangerous this match, I predict, because he's bowling with house money. He was not one of the original 16 qualifiers. He had just one spot out. He was 17th, and somebody couldn't make it, so now he's the next guy up. He's filling in. He qualified with a 343. And bowling with house money, it's no pressure. You just go up there. I like that spot.
That's right.
Personally.
That's right.
And out of the gate, nice ball on the second ball. Almost carries it. Phil has been bowling for a long time. I was telling you off camera.
Right.
I've been bowling with him since I was 12, and I'm 47 now. So that's 35 years of bowling with the guy. And he was no spring chicken then.
Right.
But he hikes every day. Hikes more than I walk in a week every day.
Then he definitely hikes more than I would want to walk.
Tricky leave for Phil. He's going to want to hit the 5 on the outside if he can. And he does.
Oof.
It's a great
Good
try.
effort.
Great try. He gets out of this with a 10 and walks away from those, 2 leaves with a couple of 10s. Can't be upset with that. Especially this leave. Phil Clough from Warren, Massachusetts. It's got the coolest house too. It's kind of built of stone. It looks like a castle. I know.
Really?
He built like half of that house himself. It's stones from his backyard. And it's very
that's
cool
awesome.
looking. Yeah. Very handy guy around the outdoors, and
He seems that he comes across like that.
that's why he's still bowling so well at this point. Stays very active. Sean really gets a lot of air under that ball when he throws it out there. That in that particular box, it didn't help. 2-2 split. It was very accurate though. There he goes. Nice ball. Awesome shot by Sean. Kiss that 2-pin right over there, right behind the 6 and into the 7. You waste no time. Kind of reminds me of John Boudreau, the way just grab a ball, throw it, grab a ball, throw it, grab a ball, throw it. If you're ready, there's no sense waiting, I guess.
Get right up and go.
Same good first ball, almost the exact same result. 3 out of 4 are the same pins he had last time. In fact, these are the 3 pins that he made on the second ball last time. He's not going to be able to make it the same way, though, because he can't cut these 2. You're going to have to throw the wood off the wall.
Oh, and he almost does it.
Yeah, he threw his ball right over the top of the 10-pin. All good balls so far by Sean. Both bowlers not rewarded for some good head pin hits yet, but it's early.
Right.
They stay in there. This is what I was talking about last match. A couple 10s to a couple 9s.
Yep.
Sometimes when both bowlers have the same amount of marks, the match ends up being won in the open boxes with 1 pin here, 1 pin there. A big difference in speed between the 2 bowlers'
Absolutely.
balls, huh?
Yeah.
Phil looking at the 4 horsemen left.
And does that force Phil to be a little more accurate with his ball?
In theory, it would, right? Because if you throw
You
it
would
really
think.
hard, in the course of a string, there might be 1 or 2 boxes where a bowler throwing it really hard, maybe off the head pin, and just blow up everything and
Right.
get a nice
You would
9 drop
think.
or even a
Right.
backdoor mark here and there. Yeah, some houses I've seen it work the other way, though, where the hard balls just punch everything. And generally, Phil is very accurate. He's going to find a spot. So it's always a little tougher too when you're doing this format where it's 2 boxes and you're switching lanes every box.
Right.
I mean, you may find the groove on one lane, then all of a sudden they're asking you to move to the next lane, so it's a little trickier. That's why you can really appreciate when somebody throws a double strike.
Right.
Phil with a single with wood, but the wood is not good. He's going to have to be high on it to spin it back. He went right in the middle, and it had a bad angle.
Yeah.
It just didn't carry. It wouldn't be higher. A nice 10, 3 out of 4 10s. It's depressing when you finally get that single and you look at a crooked piece of wood in front that you look at it and you just say, well, the wood's no help. But, still, you got to tell yourself it's no more difficult than just hitting a regular single. You just got to pick your spot.
Although, as we've seen many times here on New England Candlepins, sometimes that single pin is not as easy as one would think.
That's true, especially if you get in the first box.
Right.
Nice. Oh, just missed the head pin. And as we were talking about that hard ball, he had wood come flying back at the head pin.
Yeah.
If that wood had hit it anywhere other than on the end, it probably would have taken the head pin.
And there we go.
Still trying to find his first 10, Sean is. And he's going to need those 10s to catch up. He's only down 1, but facing a 10 box, so Mark to take the lead. It must be his favorite ball. He's waiting for that one to come back. Had another one on the lane already. That one slipped out of his hand just a little bit. You could hear it bounce before it hit the line. It slips out early. It's going to go off to the right. I'm just waiting for a strike, though, because he throws the ball so hard, he puts it in the pocket. You're going to see a quick strike somewhere before this match is over. 9999, 4 of a kind. If we're playing poker, it's a solid hand right there.
Absolutely.
So Phil, nursing a 2-pin lead, looking to build on that, put a mark up there, try to stretch it to double digits. It's a shame. It was a nice ball. We'll take the 9. Didn't want to leave up an 8 or a 7. That box will be happy with a 9 on the third ball. Going to throw the same first ball with a better result, we hope. Comes in a little bit lighter. I thought he was going to get a much better leave.
Yeah.
That did look like a ball that would give him a good leave. 5-7.
That even with on that first shot, even with the slower shot, the pins kind of exploded there on him.
Yeah, they will if you put it in a good pocket hit. You'd get a quick drop anywhere, any speed. Phil's going to fight the frustration of not having any spare leaves because, again, nothing you can do about it. It's hang in there.
Right.
Our bowler's putting up all 9s and 10s, though. No bad boxes yet. Hope I didn't jinx it. Sean qualified with 371, so he was the 3 seed? 6 seed. 6 seed. He's the top half of the bracket.
Yeah.
So looking at the same 3-1 split that Phil looked at in the first box, except that his 2-pin is off the spot and he has wood behind it. Like Phil, he was off on the second ball. He's going to try to do the same thing as Phil, the third ball, and clean up for a 9. Oh, and the fact that it was off the spot probably cost him a 9.
Yeah. So halfway through, Phil has a 4-pin lead on Sean Taylor.
Looks like Sean bowls at Ryan's.
Yep.
That's not too far from here.
No, not at all.
It's probably the closest bowling alley to here.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's one closer. Hey, the first spare of the match, which he needed because he's down 3, so as long as he fills it with a decent fill, he should have a small lead on Phil. Phil would like to be proactive and not have to wait and see what he fills it with. Put a couple marks up here himself, turn the tables. 4 boxes to go. Hey, finally a good drop for Phil. Crossed over the head pin, hit the 1-2 pocket.
Yep.
And I know from experience watching Phil bowl, that's an iffy pocket for him. Sometimes it doesn't give him good action, but it clearly did here. And he's right on for the spare. Just took one bowler to get that first spare. Now they're off and running. Crosses over again, but goes too far. The 5 fill. That's a nice 10.
Great shot.
And since he only had a 5 for the fill, the 10 was important. And he had a 4-pin lead already, 5 fill, 9 essentially. It's going to make Sean have to throw a much bigger fill now to keep the match even after 2, unless he puts another mark up there. Oh, a nice ball by Sean. We have seen a lot of those 2-2 splits so far already. 2-2 and 3-1. A 9 out, leaving him 3 pins behind Phil. Phil had a 10 this box, so small mark. Nice. I was going to say 9 drop, but
Oh, man.
nice 8 drop. Now the wood flattened out. Should be helpful. But there's always a spot or two where you can hit it and pay for it. There it goes right there, right on the front pin. Nice easy spare, locks it up. So Sean will be 3 down, but on a fill with 2 boxes to go. We have a close match.
Yeah.
Another 2-2 split. Over and over, we see the same leave. On the object pin. I always say you show a bowler the same ugly leave enough times, eventually he's going to make it. I'm sure Phil isn't thinking that way, though. He wants to show him a nice single pin with a plank.
Right, right.
Good out 9 box for Phil. I know in Phil's mind, he's definitely thinking he needs a mark here, and a mark would go a long way. Mark with a good fill. Then it would put the pressure on Sean. Otherwise, he's going to, need a break. Another good ball there. He finally gets the break up.
Right.
I was looking for a minute like we had another 3-1 split. Right in the pocket. That was a big mark for Phil.
Yeah.
And since he was up 3 and he left the pin standing in the last one, in his head he's going to want to be putting an 8 or better here. And that would pretty much, force Sean to have to throw one more mark to beat him outright without a playoff. it a 6.
So Phil
So-
will end with 106. So Sean is at 78 through 8, but he's got a fill there.
Yep. Anything less than a 9, and he'll have to throw another spare in the 2 boxes to win outright. And he's going to need a mark somewhere in here. That one was a little off, obviously. He can still pick it up. Really gets that wood moving.
Yep. Oh,
It's a good cleanup on an
Wow.
important ball. I mean, that was important. He had to get at least a
Yep.
9 there, because now he's down. Essentially, he needs 18 to tie. If you didn't get the 9, if you need
Yeah.
21 to tie, you need a double. So
Yeah.
18 is a little better. Oh. Can you ask for a more difficult shot?
wow.
Looks like Phil Clough playing with house money. We'll move on.
Yeah.
A nice cleanup by Sean. No breaks.
So our final is going to be Phil Clough 106 and Sean Taylor 97. And we'll be back to talk to our bowlers in just a moment. Welcome back to New England Candlepins, and we're with our bowlers from our second game today. First, we'll talk to Sean. Sean, challenging match for you, huh?
Yeah, it was a real barn burner there, but just the splits killed me.
Absolutely. Well, you both had a lot of splits during that match, and it just, you were both rolling good, what appeared to be good balls, but the pins weren't falling.
Yeah, they were just going right through the middle, and my fills also, my marks didn't help me either. So
Absolutely. And then Phil came through with that spare in the 10th, which kind of forced you to have to mark in the 9th to the 10th and just unable to do so.
yeah, it put a lot of pressure on me and just couldn't match it.
Well, good effort. And Phil, come away with the victory there. Hard fought. Maybe not the prettiest victory,
Yes.
but still a win.
It was a tough match, but fortunately, I had one less split than Sean.
That's very true. Very true. The pins weren't falling the way I think you had hoped for.
No, but a win's a win.
That's right. You only need one more pin to go down than your opponent. So you're going to advance to our Elite 8 show, where you're going to take on the winner of our first match from today's show, Richie Myrick, and that'll take place in Week 5. So we'll have that match for you a little further down the road. So congratulations to today's winners. For Matt Ferrara and Pete Fasciano, and for Dan, the Goth Man Gothier, I'm Jay Horrigan, and we'll see you next time on New England Candlepins.
New England Candlepins is made possible through the generous support of the U.S. Candlepin Bowling Association. Learn more at uscandlepin.com. By Ficco's Family Bowladrome in Franklin, Massachusetts. Visit ficosbowl.com. By your community's public access channel. And by your Franklin friends and neighbors. Good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.